Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Karina. I'm a confidence and mindset coach, and today in this video we're going to talk about how to speak confidently in front of the camera. First thing that I want to say is that this is a very spontaneous video that I'm going to do right now, and also I didn't do the script, and I'm going to make it in one cut, so you actually first of all see what it looks like when a person is in front of the camera speaking, without any corrections or without any cuts, because what often happens, especially with beginners, they compare their draft to let's say, a professional who's been on YouTube for years and years, and then they feel like they're not good enough. But what you should understand, first of all, is that, as I said, like, you're the beginner, so you just start and just cut yourself some slack and practice and practice. So I'm gonna tell a little bit of my story, how I even got into content creating, how it was for me, what challenges I faced, and what things helped me overcome this barrier. Because you anyway, even first of all, I would have a language barrier to start speaking in English, even though it's not my first language. It's not even my second language, it's actually my third language, because I speak also Russian and Romanian. So I overcame first barrier, and the second barrier was, of course, to speak in front of the camera. So I started content creating 5 years ago, and first I started with YouTube. And it was really scary, I would say, for the first time in my life to just like get a phone and actually record a video. I could record a video of, I don't know, nature or anything else, but of me, I at the time was really insecure. I didn't like the way I look at the camera. If we talk about the voice, you know what really happens often to people who record themselves for the first time in front of the camera. When they rewatch it, they're like, oh wow, that's my voice. I don't like how it sounds, right? And this is totally normal, because first of all, you've never heard yourself outside of like what you hear when you speak, right? So if it's the first time when someone, for example, or you yourself, like, recorded your voice and then you re-listen to this, you're like, oh wow, it's me. But yeah, this is you. And yeah, I know that from not only from my experience, but from a lot of other people. What they were saying is that, oh, the first time I heard my voice, I didn't like it. So if you're also in this place when you don't like your own voice, that's totally fine. Believe me, after a few times, you will first of all get used to that, and also you'll feel way more comfortable speaking in front of the camera. So this is what happened to me as well. Not only I didn't like my voice, but also I didn't like the way I looked there. And this is also fine, because yeah, I've never seen myself speaking, right? And there were not really many situations in my life when I even, let's say, I was talking and like looking at myself maybe in the mirror or anything like that. So of course it was very unusual to do this, but it's okay. You just need to start. This is the first thing that I want to say, is treat yourself with more compassion and understanding and support, of course, as well. Because if you're going to beat yourself up or comparing yourself to someone else, that, oh, they're better than me, I cannot do as good as they are doing, for example, it will not help you to improve. And the more you support yourself, the faster you will get where you want. So at that time, I started making short video content. Not even short, wait a second. I think in 2020 they didn't even they didn't have shorts, but I think maybe it was 2021 when they got this reels. Yeah, I don't know, I think maybe you remember better, because I don't. And I remember I was making videos, I think, for 3-4 minutes about like past simple, past perfect, all these things, but I was making them in Russian. So okay, I didn't have the language barrier because I could speak my like first language, but anyway, you know, in speaking in front of the camera, I could first of all not remember and like forget some words that I wanted to say, or I would make some mistakes of like, you know, like these kind of things as well. And in the end, of course, when you made a video and then you rewatch it, you first of all cut these things out And for those people who are watching, yeah, you don't see this usually. So in your head, everyone speaks perfectly without any mistakes, without any blah, blah, or anything like that, right? So when you watch yourself, as I said in the very beginning, when you watch your draft with all the mistakes, you're like, oh, I'm not so good as someone else. But the thing is just they cut it out. So I decided just to leave it the way it is right now. No, it's not just because I'm lazy to edit a video. It's actually my point that I want to show you how it really is. And yeah, of course, right now I can speak non-stop for like 10-15 minutes, but again, it comes with practice. In the very beginning when I started, I didn't really even move my mouth, and I will try to find those videos that I had before and maybe just show a part of it so you can actually see and compare how I look before and after. And yeah, I didn't really move my mouth, and also I was speaking so fast and without any expression. Like right now I'm more like emotional, also the body language is better, but at that time I felt like I basically froze, and then I was like, oh no, I cannot move, and I couldn't properly even say what I wanted. So yeah, it was also part of the journey, to first get comfortable with the way you look, the way you sound, and also the way you speak in front of the camera. So it was a long way, long path of mine for like 5 years. Right now I feel comfortable. At the time I wasn't. And one thing that really helped me at that time was first exercise. It was just to record a voice message to myself every day, let's say maybe for a minute or 2 minutes. I don't know, you can just start small. It's not necessary to record yourself like 10-minute video or audio, but you can just start maybe telling yourself about your day, because you need to learn how to make proper sentences, and also these sentences should be consecutive. So it should make sense out of all this story that you're saying. And I know that I've been speaking to a lot of people due to my profession, right? Because I've been an English teacher, and I know that sometimes people, not only who learn English, but in general, I met in my life actually a few people who will jump from one sentence to another one without even finishing the first one. So of course, if you want to make a video, this is something that will be quite difficult. So while you speak, you also need to understand like the meaning which you put behind this, and also be able to make it like a very congruent, like if there is such word, sometimes I also can make up words, or maybe think that in English is the same word as in Russian, because I'm still learning as well. Yeah, it's totally fine to make mistakes even when you have high level. So what I was saying is that you need to make sense through all the story that you're telling, and also this comes with practice. So coming back to the exercise, you can just start making the recording yourself an audio every day, maybe for 1 minute or 2, and then re-listen it, of course. As I said, first it will be not really comfortable, but then step by step you will get used to this. Then later on, for example, if maybe you're not in the stage when you don't really feel like at all comfortable speaking in front of the camera, but just when you make a video you don't feel comfortable. So here you do the same thing. You set the camera in front of you and you start talking. I know that a lot of people, and also some of my friends, they say that, I feel really comfortable talking to a person if there is, for example, a conversation. But when there is just a camera in front of me, I feel lost. Like I cannot understand like how even to look at the camera, how to say something or anything like that. And I know that one of the most popular exercises is like, imagine there is a friend of yours who is behind this camera. So it will help you to kind of understand that there is someone who is listening to you, right? Because basically right now, if you just look at me from the side, it's like I'm talking to myself. And in the beginning was also for me, it was really difficult to just like start talking in front of the camera, but I was just practicing and practicing. Maybe at the time I was really lonely, so I anyway wanted to talk to someone, and I also imagined like there's a friend of mine, let's say, and I talk to them. But later on, what really helped me is I started focusing mostly on the things that I can say, what I can share, and especially those things that I feel really confident in speaking and delivering, right? Because if you want to speak confidently, it's not only the way you speak, but it's also what exactly you share. And as if you feel very confident in what you say, then it will be, of course, easier for you to deliver it. When, for example, you share your story or maybe a subject that you are, let's say, professional, right? If, for example, I was a teacher of biology, I could non-stop talk about biology, right? But probably it would be more complicated for me to talk about history. So here's the same thing. You'll be the most comfortable, talking about those subjects that you know. And first I would say that if it depends also what goal you have with, maybe you want to have a YouTube channel, right? And if your YouTube channel will be about, let's say, psychology, then the first thing you can just start telling about your story and practicing. Like, anyway, it comes also practice. So I would love, of course, to share, a very like a secret way or technique, but I can't, because there isn't anything like that immediately, helps you. It all comes with practice, with being first really uncomfortable in front of the camera, and then step by step building this confidence, competence as well, and this even kind of rapport to the camera. Because even right now, I speak to the camera, but I understand that behind this camera, behind the screen, there will be a lot of people who will be watching this video, and probably they will be looking for the same information that I was looking at the time when I wanted to start my YouTube channel, or when I wanted to share my knowledge or my wisdom, yeah? So I can like speak through the camera, because I know that it's not only me who is talking right now and like listening to what I'm saying, but there are also some people. And the more I focus on what I deliver and what impact I want to create, this is what really helps me to overcome this maybe discomfort or some fears, let's say, to actually focus on my goal, my mission, to help people. So this is also something that helped me a lot. All right, now I need to take a break and think if I said actually everything or not. Yeah. The exercises, yes, and the rest as well. Yeah, also one more thing I want to mention is, of course, mistakes. I know that a lot of people are really afraid of making mistakes, and I feel you. I can definitely understand. And I was also at the same place, especially being as an English teacher, and I was like, oh man, like what happens if I make a mistake, and then how come like I can make a mistake if I'm an English teacher and like everything should be perfect. But there isn't such thing as perfection, and the more you thrive, like the more you go for this perfection, the more you actually procrastinate. And it happened for me as well. I realized that the more I'm waiting for the moment to be ready, to maybe I make a video or anything like that, the more I just waste my time. And don't wait until that moment when you completely feel ready, because there isn't such moment. Like, I'm serious. You think that, there in the future, maybe I need to do this and that, and then I will feel like completely ready or completely confident. But there isn't such moment, because you always live in present moment. So you can only decide in present moment right now, like, yes, I'm ready. And what works for me is sometimes that I do some spontaneous things. Like, for example, this video, I was like, yeah, why not? Because yesterday we had a conversation with my friends about this, and I shared my experience also, what helped me. And I was like, okay, so there are people who are interested in this, and I can share this, so probably I can just make a video. And I got even the idea before I went to sleep that it will be really nice to make it without any cuts, so you can actually see how it looks when you make a video. And remember that, yes, there are mistakes, there are some pauses or there are some, I don't know, some other things. So the video is not perfect. And what people usually do after this, it's of course they edit it so it looks more perfect. But I believe more perfect. Yeah, kind of, if there's actually such thing as more perfect. But I believe that the more real it is, the better, because you can actually show yourself the way you are without putting a special mask to be liked by someone else. And as a confidence coach, I speak about this a lot, is that the true confidence actually comes from accepting fully yourself without like, I know that a lot of people have this thing that they feel, for example, that right now they're insecure, but once they get to this point when they're like perfect, only then they will feel confidence or be confident. But it's such a big lie. You don't get to the point of being perfect because there is not such thing of perfection. And even if I ask you right now what is to be perfect, what you say will be very different from, for example, what I mean or what the other person thinks what is perfect, right? And even if we just imagine for one moment that there is actually a perfect person, can you imagine how bad it will be to actually live with this person or like even be friends? Because every time you would look at this perfect person, it will remind you and will show you how not perfect you are. So I would say don't go for perfection, but go for being real and be yourself. I know this is like super popular phrase, like just be yourself. And a lot of people are like, what does it mean be yourself? And the reason why I ask this question, or the reason why people don't understand like what it means be yourself, is because most people never ask themselves what is like myself, be myself, or like who am I? I know it's like super philosophical question. Okay, coming back to the video. I think also when you explore yourself more and when you know who you are, and also when you know what you stand for, what kind of information you want to deliver, what's the reason even that you want to deliver this information, and what's the way, then you will feel way more comfortable and confident to actually do this. And the second thing is, of course, practice. I mean, there is no other way, just in practice. You can also maybe make a challenge. I love doing this. I would just say. I can just challenge myself, for example, like, okay, so 1 week I maybe make a video every day for 5 minutes. It can be like such a small thing, but at the same time you also build the habit of doing something on a regular basis. So maybe this is something that also will motivate you to actually start. And I remember one person actually texted under some of my videos, maybe it was even short, he texted that he started a YouTube channel not a long time ago. And this is so beautiful. I mean, a lot of people actually want to, I know that they want to start YouTube channels, or maybe they want to apply for a specific job, or even start talking to someone and they don't feel comfortable, they don't feel confident. And when finally this person does this thing, I personally feel really happy, because this is something that I think looks from the outside like a small step, but in fact it can be a big one. And if you're in a place where you want, let's say, to make videos on YouTube, just start with a very small step, because the first step, it's not just the first step. This is something that will start a very big line, I would say, of next steps that will lead you to your goal. So that's it for today. Let me know what you think about this video, and if also you, for example, have some experience of speaking in front of the camera, if there are any tips or maybe exercises that you've been doing, I think it will be really nice if you share them in the comments and if you guys help each other. Thanks a lot for watching. Follow me for more tips and videos on confidence and mindset.